You wake up at 3 a.m., and it feels like your mind has been waiting for you, not resting, not silent, just waiting. The strange thing is, nothing important is happening in that moment. Your room is the same, your life is the same, but your thoughts suddenly feel heavier, louder, and more personal than they did in the day. You start thinking about things you normally ignore. A small mistake from yesterday, a conversation you wish went differently, a future situation that hasn't even happened yet, but still feels real enough to worry about, and in that silence, your brain doesn't slow down, it speeds up. This is not random. It happens because your brain works differently at night. During the day, your attention is pulled outward by noise, tasks, and distractions. Your brain is constantly processing new information, break time equal 0.05s, so it doesn't have enough space to deeply process emotions. But at night, especially when you wake up at 3 a.m., everything changes. External input drops, and your brain turns inward. It starts reviewing what was never fully processed. Psychologically, this is known as unresolved cognitive load. Your mind stores unfinished thoughts and emotions like open loops. During the day, these loops stay in the background, but at night, your brain tries to close them. The problem is, it doesn't always close them gently. Instead, it replays them. This is why the same thought can appear again and again, not because it is important in reality, but because it was never fully processed emotionally. There is also a biological reason this feels stronger at night. The emotional part of your brain, the amygdala, becomes more active when you are tired. Break time 0.05s. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logical thinking and control, becomes less efficient. So what you get is a situation where emotions are louder, but logic is quieter. This imbalance creates a feeling that your thoughts are true, even when they are just emotionally amplified. That is why small worries feel like big problems at 3 a.m. Your brain is not giving you new information. It is just reducing your ability to filter it. Another important mechanism is something called the default mode network. This is the part of your brain that becomes active when you are not focused on the outside world. It is responsible for self-reflection, memory replay, and imagining the future. At night, this system becomes dominant, and when it is active without external grounding, it can drift into rumination. Break time 5s, that means your mind starts looping the same thoughts instead of resolving them. So what you are experiencing is not a broken mind. It is a brain switching into a different mode without enough regulation. The key is understanding that these thoughts are not instructions. They are signals. They are your brain trying to organize emotional data that was left unfinished during the day. When you understand this, your relationship with these thoughts starts to change. Instead of trying to fight them or force them away, you can start by recognizing them as mental activity, not reality. A thought is not a fact. It is a temporary event in the brain. One helpful approach is labeling. When a thought appears, you simply identify it as a memory, a fear, or a prediction. This small step activates the part of your brain responsible for observation, break time, 0.05s, which reduces emotional intensity. Another important shift is externalizing. When your thoughts stay in your head, they loop. When you write them down, your brain treats them as stored information, which reduces repetition. It is not about solving them at that moment. It is about moving them out of working memory. A third shift is reducing pressure. Many people try to force sleep when they wake up at night, but pressure activates alertness. The brain responds to pressure by staying awake longer. Instead, allowing yourself to simply rest without forcing sleep reduces this internal stress response. Another useful step is creating distance from the thought itself. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," you shift slightly to, "I am experiencing anxious thoughts." This creates separation between you and the mental activity. Break time 0.05s. It helps your brain understand that the thought is happening, but it is not your identity. Finally, grounding yourself in physical sensation helps bring the nervous system back to stability. Feeling your breath, your body against the bed, or the stillness of the room shifts attention away from looping cognition and back into the present moment. What all of these approaches have in common is not control, but regulation. You are not trying to silence your mind. You are changing how your brain processes internal signals. Over time, this reduces the intensity of 3 a.m. anxiety, not because thoughts disappear, but because they stop feeling urgent. And when you understand this deeply, something changes in how you experience those nights. You stop seeing them as moments of mental failure and start seeing them as moments where your brain is simply trying to finish unfinished conversations with itself.